like to call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka.
Here.
Councilwoman D'Arminio. Councilwoman D'Arminio is unable to attend this evening. Councilman Garrick.
Here.
Councilman Accomando.
Here.
Council President Mazer.
Here. Please rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members and all legal newspapers in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during the meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who take issue with such comments or are offended by same may and have in the past sought legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
Like the motion to open to the public?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to be heard, please come up, state your name and address.
Good evening, everyone. My name is J. Arlene Maresca. I'm a proud resident of Saddlebrook. And I'm taking a course in Seniors for Seniors. And I'm here to collect some information for my group. We'd like to know if Saddlebrook has any of the following programs. The first one is Lockbox and File of Life. It's actually a combo, because if your door is locked and you're sick and they can't get in, the lockbox, and then the second half is the File of Life. It goes on your refrigerator or whatever, and then either if a relative helps you out with it, fine, but if you take it to a doctor and they get paid for it, you'll get a green ID card that they can then take with them to the hospital. So it's double verified. Okay, and the second thing is a prescription drug collection, which Peter said we have, I didn't know. Okay, and the second one is 211 education. Any problem that anybody could even think of is covered. And the phones are manned or female 24/7. And it would take a lot of off your plate. And I have sure I do. I'm tired. I have a poster that Peter said I have permission to hang down at the community center. So the emergency people, he said they were off, they weren't there. So somebody will get back to me. Anybody interested in the program? We have a lot of seniors, and I'm one of them. And we'd like to be able to help people who don't have anybody to help them. I always say, what do people without children do? God help us all. So, you're gonna get back to me, Peter, on this Lockbox Life, okay? And the 211 education, if you would like someone besides myself, come down to the senior center there and give a talk, we'd be more than happy to give our time. And I'm gonna graduate, so watch out now. I'm tired, but I'm gonna graduate anyway. It's interesting. I hadn't any idea what went on, and people don't know anything. They ask all kind of silly questions, and this one poster was mind-boggling. And you think you know it all. No, I can't say I'm a know-it-all anymore. So okay, and thanks for hearing me out. And
Thank you.
have fun, guys. I'm going home.
Thank you
to
so
eat
much.
and go to sleep. Good night.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day and everybody else.
Well, we wish to thank you also. They sound like awesome suggestions. Yes, we'll look into them. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Good evening, everyone. Emil Sudol, Van Leeuwen Terrace, Southwood. I was out of town for a couple of weeks, and what I understand, talking to a couple of residents, that Fifth Street flooded again a couple of weeks ago, and the water was percolating once again through the round sewer things. It actually blew the cover off, and it was blowing the water out onto Fifth Street again. I'm not looking to place any blame or anything, but is there anything that we could do to just take a little longer look at this before we pave Fifth Street? I don't know if the road has to be opened or the pipes have to be changed, or is it the brook in the back, or I really don't know why this is happening. I know in the past, you had Passaic Valley Sewerage Commission and come out and clean up all the sewer pipes and everything. But I know you were talking about instituting the grease trap cleanups. Has that been started yet?
Yes.
It has been started? Okay, because I'm sure that is a part of, or was a part of the problem. That's pretty much it I have on. One more thing. The park, Current Street, you guys all chipped in and bought a bench and had a tree planted there a couple of weeks ago. It was really awesome. Great thing to do. Mayor's Youth Group was out there, they cleaned the place up, and DPW did an awesome job planting the tree. Looks great. The bench looks great. Thank you for that, and I'm sure everybody in that neighborhood will thank you for that. One more thing that bothered me, just coming here today, I came out onto Fifth Street making the right onto Market. I don't want to mention any business names, but there's a couple of businesses right there on the right corner, pizza place and whatever. There's a driveway behind that building, and right now he has, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, what do you call the oil, waste oil, in 5-gallon containers. They're just sitting there. I don't know if that's a potentially dangerous situation or if he's disposing of that in a proper way. But just to see that out there, I mean, that's really not a good thing. Just, if anything ever happened, or if they got, because they all look leaky and stuff, and it really don't look good. They smell terrible, and if someone could look into that, would be appreciated.
Emil, have they been out there for a while?
Yeah.
Or just for a
Yep.
long time?
Much longer than a week. And like I said, they're starting on their second tier already, so,
We'll check that out, definitely.
all right? That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mabel. Anyone else? No? Motion to close?
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Mayor?
Okay. I just want to thank Mrs. Maresca for coming up and bringing up those items regarding the seniors. This 211 education, I'm looking into getting more information about that, and perhaps we can have her and her group come to our senior center and do a presentation. Some of the things she said, the lockbox, that's something that the police department does informally do. But I've been talking to the chief, and we're interested in doing another program that I learned about actually through Access for All, that they do in Paramus, where seniors that wish to be on this list, they get called by the police department every morning. And these are mostly shut-ins. So they get called, and if they answer, they have a conversation, the dispatcher or whomever, community policing officer will have a little conversation with them. If they don't answer, then they send the dispatcher police officer to the house. And oftentimes, an elderly person may fall in the house, they can't get up, that type of thing, almost like the life alert. But that's one program that we're interested in. Also, I wanted to tell her, she left, but last year, again through Access for All, we did that Gold Star program, ID program through the Sheriff's Department, where we issued IDs to individuals that elderly, people with, in some stage of Alzheimer's, and also individuals with mental health problems like autism were issued IDs from the Sheriff's Department with a photo on it and a list of what their disease is and how to help them in case they come across an emergency responder, could know who they're dealing with. So we are doing some things in that regard, but I think the more we can do, the better, and I am interested in having that group come and speak to our seniors. Regarding Amel, it definitely did flood when you were away. It was mostly confined to right in front of Amloids. I don't believe that the sewer was percolating. I didn't hear that. I didn't get that information from the DPW, but it was one of those flash floods where certain areas just are prone to it. But we will look into that. Zuckerberg, same thing. Every time we get a heavy rain that comes down quickly, there's certain areas that just can't take that much water on. So, but it didn't. Luckily, it didn't go down as far as it usually does to in front of Sylvan there and then down Sylvan. So we're happy about that. Couple items. I just want to let everybody know that the public hearing on the budget has been rescheduled to June the 7th at 6 o'clock before our regular council meeting. The shredding event that we had on Saturday, April 14th, 9 to 1 p.m. at Coolidge School. We had a nice day, one of just a few that we had in April, but it was well attended by many residents, and I want to thank my secretary, Christine, and also our recycling coordinator, Joan Ramsey, for helping out with that. Pete and I, Business Administrator Ladico and I, attended a seminar at the county. BergenForBusiness.com it was on Wednesday, April 18th. It's a new website that County Executive Tedesco introduced. It's a free website, and it's called BergenForBusiness.com. It was an excellent seminar, but this website, it's county operated, it's cutting edge, and it gives accurate and informative data on all 70 municipalities in Bergen County. Each municipality has its own profile, and it provides information, demographic information on the population, the education levels, labor force, top business sectors in that community, also what type of jobs they offer, medium household income, et cetera, things like that. But this was Bergen County Economic Development Department at the county. They were given that task to do this, and it's a way to appeal to businesses and to help municipalities attract corporations and to spur local growth in the county. So that was very informative. But I urge residents to go on that and businesses in town to go on that website, BergenForBusiness.com. The Mayor's Youth Group, as Emil had said, we did an Earth Day project on Saturday, April 21st. It was a cleanup of the playground at Kern Street, Kern Place, which is located right across from Victor Street Little League Field. We also planted an evergreen tree, and with help from the DPW, we also placed a bench that the youth group raised money to help purchase that bench. I want to thank all the Mayor's Youth Group members, their parents, who helped came out that day and helped out. Also residents, Dominic Mazzone and Emil Sudol were there helping out. They pitched in as well. Special thanks to, again, my secretary Christine for everything that she did, and liaison Thomas Van Winkle for taking photos, and he actually made a video of the event, which is now on our town TV, also on Facebook and our town website, so it can be seen there. We also had a busy month. We had opening day softball on April the 21st, that Saturday, and then the Little League Parade and opening day ceremony was last Saturday, April 29th. I want to thank softball Commissioner Eric Torvik and Little League President John Joe Tui, also all the executive boards and all the managers, coaches, parents, sponsors for all that they do to support those programs. I attended a community development block grant meeting this past Monday, April 30th. It's a meeting of the Central Region Community Block Grant Committee. At the meeting, I was, because of information that I received at that meeting, I'm recommending that we submit a new community development application with a road surfacing project, resurfacing project, rather than what we had there, which was a Phase 4 drainage, which was originally submitted. I was made aware that by the committee members that road resurfacing is a preferred project, and that we would more than likely be approved for that, but not the other. So there's a resolution on tonight for the council to approve to change that to a paving project, which will be Leswing Avenue from Mayhill to Liberty Street. Our concession stand and bathrooms, an update on that. Our building inspector, Tony Ambrosio, went there yesterday and issued the final CO. Business administrator, Ludico, is working with our attorney, Anthony Suarez, on a contract with an outside vendor, Little Bite of Paradise, for a month-to-month lease to run the concession stand. As I mentioned at Tuesday's work session, I'd like to earmark some portion of that monthly rent that we'll be getting be used to subsidize for these recreation programs, the sports that are impacted by the loss of revenue for not using the concession stand. I went to the mayor's conference last Thursday and Friday, April 26th and 27th. I was happy to attend and meet mayors throughout the state. I attended many panel discussions and seminars on a variety of topics, including flood mitigation, school security, fair housing, fair share housing, 2% salary cap, and then a debate on the legalization of marijuana, which was very interesting. Upcoming events, we have several this month. On May the 12th, we have Armed Services Day at the Saddlebrook Library between 11 a.m. and 1. Tuesday, May 15th is our local Saddlebrook Police Memorial, 12 noon right here at Town Hall by the monument. VFW Post 3484 has their installation dinner on Saturday, May 19th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the VFW. The Senior Center has chicken bingo Sunday, May 20th at the center. There's still tickets available for that. Anybody interested can see Joe Lisi from the Senior Center. Also, I just found out today that there's going to be a meet and greet of the new school superintendent at the Saddlebrook High School, Middle School on May the 21st. I don't know what day of the week that is, but it's at the high school, middle school between 5:30 and 7:30. Finally, our Memorial Day parade and ceremonies are on May 27th, which is a Sunday. The first ceremonies is the American Legion that starts at 9 a.m. at Walcom Road by the monument. Then there's others that follow 10, 11, 12, 1, and then the parade starts at 1:30 at Fairlawn Parkway in Shepherds. I want to congratulate a few different people and groups. Damian Dennis for his 25 years of service to the Saddlebrook Fire Department. Dinner was held in his honor this past Saturday, April 28th. I'm sorry I was unable to attend. I had another commitment. New Eagle Scouts, Benjamin Kravitz, Vincent Angelo Marchesi, and Michael Laspori. They were recognized at a Court of Honor of Troop 213 of Saddlebrook on Saturday, April 14th in St. Philip's Auditorium. Also, Pegasus Color Guard, which has several Saddlebrook residents and is sponsored by the Saddlebrook VFW Post 3484. It's a color guard called Winter Guard, where they do dancing and different kinds of twirling. But anyway, they have two different teams, a junior team and a regional team. Both took first place in a Mid-Atlantic tournament a couple of weeks ago. So I'd like to actually, I'm going to recognize them. We're going to have a little party, probably sometime the third week in May or after that at the Senior Center to recognize them. And finally, happy Mother's Day to everybody, which is May the 13th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Altamanda?
Okay, unfortunately, I wasn't here last month to attend the meeting, but I just wanted to say for the Easter celebration, it was another great event. It was well attended, and thank you for everyone who helped out, volunteered. I feel it was a very successful celebration. Last week, like the mayor said, the Little League had their opening day, and it was definitely something that the kids and majority of the adults will remember, because Dwight Gooden was the speaker, and he threw out the first pitch, which was it was pretty nice. It was exciting, even though I'm not really a Met fan, although there was more. He was a Yankee, but there was more Met fans that day for some reason. I spoke to a resident last Saturday on Fairlawn Parkway who came to the meetings to speak on the speeding. He stated to me that because of the police presence, the speeding has not diminished, but slowed down, and it helped a lot. He would like to see it be a little better, but he definitely said the police are doing a great job, and he just wanted everyone to know that. The county, like I said Tuesday at the work session, the county had finally reached out to me, and they are ready to do the benches. They purchased enough materials to do 110 benches. So unfortunately, because of scheduling, it's going to be a few weeks out, but we should be okay with the picnic in August. So we will be starting down here at Lower Bergen County in Rochelle Park, Saddlebrook, and I'll work my way up north to, I believe it's Darlington. That's how far it goes up. So it's going to take a while. It's around 5,000 benches, they said. I would like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, happy Memorial Day, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Garrick?
Thank you. I'd like to just thank Ms. Maresca for coming in and talking about the senior to senior program. Whatever I could do to help seniors and get to know some of these programs and however we could benefit the seniors here in Saddlebrook is always a good thing. So I was very appreciative of her coming in and talking about that. I was also at the Little League opening day ceremony and parade. That went extremely well. I'd like to thank the Garfield Unico for bringing Doc Gooden in. It was an awesome event. The kids were thrilled. Everything went really well. Oh, did I say Garfield? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Saddlebrook. Sorry about that. But it was a great event. We had a wonderful time. That's my employer. I'm sorry. But that was a great event, the Saddlebrook Little League, and it was well attended. And it's good to see kids getting out and playing ball, and it's nice to have the weather to get out there and play ball, so it's a good thing. Also, I'd like to just say a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. My wife will be having her first Mother's Day, so it'll be exciting for her on May 13th, and happy Memorial Day as well. Hopefully I'll see everybody at the parade, so it should be a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Yes, Councilman Sonalova?
Yes, ma'am. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which ties into what Ms. Maresca said with that 211 training. We did attend, some of us, including Ms. Mazer,
What?
the mental
yes.
health first aid.
Yes.
I forgot to mention you the last time, but you certainly were there. And we got our, you got your certificate?
No.
You didn't get a certificate?
Well, yeah.
So, even though she didn't get it, she got it. So, we have Ryan Roy, who is the autism advocate, who you'll see every place, and he is in the process of getting our stigma-free signs and things of that nature, and we will talk more about that at some Access for All committee meetings, which are now tied into the community partnership, which we're happy to be a part of, and I did get some feedback from our Access members who think it's a great idea, and they will happily join in. The Unico, the Little League Parade, I'm a proud member of Saddlebrook Unico, David. I was a proud member of Garfield Unico, but I want to thank Saddlebrook Unico for sponsoring this, and Ken Thimmel, who is a new member of Saddlebrook Unico, who does a lot of, I think his business is called Pay It Forward. He does a lot of charity work and is involved in collectibles, and he's personal friends with Dwight Gooden, and brought him in, and it just shows, I mean, Dwight Gooden was on top of the world. I'm a Met fan, so, 84 through 88, was the highlight of a Met fan's life. Those who don't remember the 60s, But those were good years, and then he hit rock bottom. And it's good to see that he looked really good, he spoke well, and he appeared to be back on track, so God bless him. And God bless Unico, because they do a great thing, and the next great thing I think that we'll be doing will be the street fair in October. The shredding event, I have to apologize because it's the danger of social media when you put something out there and you do things without having your glasses on. So I wrote that it was till 3 o'clock. Some people, such as Councilman Accomando, got there at 2. It actually ended at 1. So, for that same reason, I am not going to say what time the Memorial Day events are, whatever the time. Check our website, check the Facebook. Don't rely on me, but I will be there, and we hope to have a good crowd. It's always a very, very good time. Concession stand, I'm really happy about the way it turned out. I said in the beginning, and people laughed, that we're doing this in phases. And I said, phases. Yeah. We did the groundwork for the field. Then we did the turf. Now we have the concession stand and the bathrooms. And I can tell you, it's been a little bit since I've been to places, with my son being in recreation, my daughter's with the rec cheerleading and everything. But from what I saw, there's probably no one in, at least south of Route 4, let's say, that has a facility that we have. And I'm damn proud of everybody up here who helped to bring that to fruition, and also all the volunteers in Saddlebrook that have helped out throughout the time that we've done this. It's taken a long time, there's no doubt, but you see with generators and road pavings, it takes forever to get things done. But it was a good project to begin with, it's a good project now, and it's something that we're all proud of. Last thing, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and you know, most of us at some point in our life lose our moms, so you know, hug them and tell them how much you love them now, because when they're gone, it's too late. So have a nice night.
Thank you, Councilman. I too attended the opening day ceremonies for Little League, along with my fellow council up here. Now, I have a question for them. Let's see how much they were paying attention. What does the Little League and Mr. Litico have in common?
They're old.
Come on.
I know what it is.
You know what it is?
Both 65.
There you go. Yeah, so happy birthday to our buddy over here, who was on Saturday,
We're both, and
was
Neighbors.
65. And they were, but
thank you,
couldn't do without you, Pete.
thank you.
You're welcome. Mayor, I thought for sure somebody would pick it up also about Cambridge Ave, because there's been the buzz on social media about people going down the wrong way in Cambridge Ave.
Yes.
I actually noticed it that day, but I figured with all the commotion that was going on with the parade, that people were actually just trying to get into their driveways there, but it seems like there was some concern, people on the social media that's talking that they're making more of a habit of it going down the one way.
There are, I checked it, there are 2 signs, and it's pretty clearly marked.
Right.
But what we're gonna try, I spoke to the chief, we're gonna change, there's, best way to explain it is, from both, whether you're going north or south on Saddle River Road, right on the corners, there's the one-way sign, the arrow saying it's a one-way. And then there's another sign underneath that that says something to the effect of one way, do not enter one way. So what we're thinking of doing is taking that second sign, which is white and black lettering, make it red, and try to angle it a little bit more so that it can be seen better, but put wrong way, like, you know, when you're driving, say, onto, have you ever seen you driving onto the highway or whatever, and there's a ramp coming in, you know, it'll say wrong way, and that, maybe with that, a red sign that says wrong way, that'll at least get their attention. But there is signs there, you know what, it's people that just, they're not paying attention, they must be lost.
Some people just
And then there's a second sign too. Once you enter onto Cambridge,
Right.
there's another one on the right that
That's-
says, something to the effect of, not wrong way, but, one way, do not enter, something similar to this, similar language.
Yeah,
Some people just
Yeah.
blindly follow their GPS, and some
Yeah.
GPSs don't have it.
Exactly.
It happens to be that the mouth of that intersection is just ridiculously wide. It's just so wide. So especially if you're going south on Saddle River Road, you're just gonna, you turn in, and I actually almost got hit as I'm going down, and somebody just kept going up and up. I thought they were gonna turn into a driveway, but they were halfway past the ball field, and they just kept going, saying what's going on over there.
At
And it's
least-
especially dangerous because there's fire trucks
Right.
that are making a right turn out of there, and if someone's coming
Yeah.
there, that's a recipe for
Yeah.
disaster, so, we have to do whatever
Yeah. They
we
usually-
can do. We can't stop stupidity.
Right,
but
that's the
we can
thing.
try and
Yeah.
limit it.
They, the good thing is, most of the time, I think once they make that turn, they commit to that turn, then they
They realize.
kind of realize. Because that second sign, they see that,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll usually turn in by the firehouse, so at least they got a way to get out of there
yeah,
without backing out. But it's,
right.
and if they end up, we got a school there,
I
and they keep
know.
going straight down, it could be a disaster.
Yeah,
Would the county put up a sign because it's on the intersection of a county road? Like on Saddle River Road as you're approaching, especially going south because it's in your line of vision.
They might.
No right turn or
We
something
could
like that.
ask them.
yeah,
Can't
I
hurt.
think, I think just more visible,
Yep.
visible sign
definitely.
might, may help.
Okay,
So we'll try that.
yep.
Yeah,
Thank
a
you.
resident got my attention on that with at the 5K, at the park. She was talking to me. I think that was the same one that put it
It's
out
on there.
on
Yep.
Facebook. But,
Okay, great.
I don't think she even realized this, because she said there's no signs there.
No,
But you know what, it's
It's
hard.
there,
You know what,
just-
if you know the area, you're not thinking, you just know you can't make that turn because it's a one-way.
Yeah.
But it's people that don't live here, and like you said, maybe they're following their GPS.
yeah.
Usually the GPSs are pretty good with the one-ways, but.
But it was ironic, because I was waiting for the parade to come, there was
Right, there
someone
was
right
somebody.
down the middle.
Yeah.
Right down there, yeah.
Did they keep the old way?
And they actually turned by the school. They went in the driveway
Yeah.
and turned by the school. So,
Yeah, it does happen.
okay. Thank you. All righty. On to the ordinances.
Well, through the chair,
Absolutely, sure.
for the Cambridge, I mean, just a suggestion, you see it in a lot of other towns, because like you said, it's a wide street. Maybe we could paint arrows, because you can only go right and left on the street, so maybe we could paint big arrows on the roadway to the left and to the right, and maybe in the middle you could put like some type of sign that says, "Do not enter." Because there's a lot of dead space in the center of the street.
You just gotta make sure you follow the MUTCD. You can't just arbitrarily take things on. Is there a do not enter sign?
There's a couple,
Yeah, there is a couple on both.
Okay, yeah.
and a one-way sign. I seen a guy yesterday morning, I brought my son to school. He made the left and went right down the street.
That's it.
Yeah,
He could have been following his GPS. It wouldn't be the
GPS,
first
yeah.
time. It
Yeah.
just happened to me. I followed the GPS and I got pulled over by the police. He said, "You're going the wrong way." I said, "But my GPS is telling me." "Oh, that's no defense."
We convict people all the time with the GPS defense.
thank you.
You're welcome.
On to the ordinances.
Ordinance 1644-18 is the calendar year 2018 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank pursuant to NJSA 48, which allows us to bank for the future cap allocations that aren't used this year.
Motion for second reading?
Motion
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Arcomando?
Yes.
Council President Mazur?
Yes.
Calendar year 2018 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank pursuant to NJSA 48.
Motion,
Do a motion to open to the public.
motion open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting is now open to the public regarding this ordinance. Anyone wishing to be heard, please come up. No.
Motion to close to the
Motion
public?
closed.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook that the ordinance entitled Calendar Year 2018 Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank does now pass on second and final reading, and that the township clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Maluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
And Council President Mason.
Yes.
Second ordinance, a bond ordinance to authorize the replacement of the water main on President Street from Route 46 to Midland Avenue in by and for the water utility of the Township of Southbrook and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $825,000 to pay the costs thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds for a second reading.
Motion.
Motion for second reading.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Maluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mason.
Yes.
A bond ordinance to authorize the replacement of water mains on President Street from Route 46 to Midland Avenue in by and for the water utility of the Township of Southbrook and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $825,000 to pay the costs thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Motion to
Motion
open.
open for public.
Second.
All in favor? The meeting is now open to the public regarding this ordinance. Anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing no one?
Motion to close to the
Motion
public.
closed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook that the ordinance entitled, a bond ordinance to authorize the replacement of the water main on President Street from Route 46 to Midland Avenue, in by and for the water utility of the Township of Southbrook and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $825,000, pay the costs thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, does now pass on second and final reading, and that the township clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion.
To approve.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Maluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mason.
Yes.
Ordinances are passed. All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or member so requested, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence, reports, and approval of minutes and applications. The minutes will not be part of the consent agenda and will be voted on separately.
The motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Maluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mason.
Yes.
We have the minutes of the April 5th, 2018 regular public meeting.
Have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. A roll call.
Councilman Maluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Abstain?
And Council President Mason.
Yes. Good. Motion to open the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to be heard? Hey, you guys are making it easy on me. Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any other comments? Aye.
Just wanted to say, I'm happy that we have Councilman Accomando here to help us out with the construction of these park benches through the, what is it actually called? Prisoner work? What's the
County road
program
crew.
called?
County road crew.
County road crew. So it's great that we have somebody who's a muckety-muck over there, so we can
Thanks.
get that done, even though it's taken, you've never been called a muckety-muck before.
Thank you.
Schmuckety schmuck. But it's an excellent program, and hopefully, finally, Mr. Sudol can sit on satisfactory benches at the township.
Yes,
And me too.
thank you.
Thank you.
And also,
Anyone else?
I want to thank Todd as well,
Thank you. You're welcome.
because it wasn't because of, the delay hasn't been anything to do with Todd, because he's been staying on this for months now, and it was really just a little bit of
Hiccup.
yeah,
Yep.
bureaucratic red tape at the county level, but no fault of his,
Thank you.
so, thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
I just want to state that at Tuesday's meeting, I brought up the fact that the pitch to the new concession stand. But I was assured that it shouldn't be an issue, so, from our engineer, so I'm content with that, and his professionalism of that advice. So, thank you.
Dave, anything else?
No,
Nothing?
thank you.
Nobody? Mayor?
I just have one thing in old business. I actually like Todd's idea, and I want to ask Rick, can we look into that channelization? I think that might, something, lines or arrows showing, going out, because it's a one-way.
Sure.
But it is wide there, you can actually fit probably 3 cars there, because it's wide at that intersection. But a lot of traffic that's making a left, they have their own lane anyway. So maybe that would probably help. Somebody that's driving by, they would see that, more apt to see that on the road.
Right.
So,
I
is
can
that,
certainly have my traffic engineer take a look at it if you'd like, and I can report on it.
thank you.
Sure.
Because there are several concerned residents about that. Thank you.
Mr. President, if I may, just one other item. A lot of people wonder about what's happening with certain properties in town. And the Carucci's, which is not the prettiest site right now, what's gonna happen with that, well, we don't know about that one. But just for everyone's knowledge, the Bennigan's property on Midland Avenue is going to be the subject of a planning board hearing this coming Monday. They, in their application, they're looking for approval to allow use of the premises as a remote vehicle storage facility, inclusive of outdoor storage of inventory vehicles and the indoor preparation and maintenance of vehicles for ultimate delivery to Jack Daniel's customers. And then they're asking for certain kind of variances. So that is before the board. Anyone who is concerned about that or wants to hear about that, they're welcome to come to this room on Monday evening, and I believe it starts at, see, again, I don't want to give bad advice here. 7:30 p.m. I always hoped beyond,
Zoning board.
is it zoning?
Yeah, zoning.
Zoning board adjustment, again, yes, somebody told me planning. Bad information, that's me, I'm a big source of bad information apparently. I always hoped, beyond hope, that somebody would come in and make a Cracker Barrel there. Isn't that that's a perfect location for a Cracker Barrel. Big sign, last Cracker Barrel before New York City. And plus I could just get even fatter by eating a Cracker Barrel. Whatever. All right, that's it.
That's it? Any other old business, new business, any business? No?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. On that note, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.